Well, folks, they finally did it. Liquid has turned their back on the American people, and not just the American people, their longest tenured player as well. Liquid signed Patsy and Rainwaker onto their team, which means that they now have a European core, which is the first time in Liquid history. With OC and NAF both going to Europe to compete, we haven't seen that go super well for many players. Really, it's only just Twist. I think if anyone can do it, it's NAF. We'll just have to see how OC fares against the EU Oppers. We've seen a lot of NA orgs switch over to a European core before. The Cloud9 mess happened after they won the major and just sort of imploded. They had Flusha, Golden, Kiyoshima played on the team, Mixwell played on the team. Back in the day when Optic was an NA team, and when Optic also just had a CSGO team in general. They had like the European mixed team with HS, and I think Magisk was on there. And that was before he went to Astralis. They had a Danish team, but also had Shazam. Whenever it happens, it just feels weird and desperate. When Complexity moved over to their EU core, led by Blame F, they had some decent results, but then it kind of imploded, and like Cold Zera was there, and JKS. That was the last team he played on before G2. That's weird to think about. And with this Liquid signing, they didn't get any players that you'd say are like top tier European players. But we'll just have to wait and see how it turns out. But I want to focus on Elige, okay? Over 8 years on Liquid. Elige was Liquid, more than Forest was NIP, more than Crims is Fnatic, more than Chris J was Mouse Sports, even though he was benched and then brought back like 19 times, and then he became like an anti-vaxxer, and then was on loan to Fun Plus Phoenix, and then came back but was on the bench. I don't know. Elige spent more time on Liquid than Forest spent on NIP. He spent more time than Crims has on Fnatic. They're pretty close, but Crims left to go to Godsent for 2 months and then came back to Fnatic. Elige was a top 20 player 5 years in a row. In 2019, he was number 4. Elige has so many titles. He has 4 tournament MVPs. He's got a Grand Slam. No major, so I don't know if he's really that good. But this is genuinely the end of an era, not just for Liquid, not just for Elige, not just for NACS, but for CS as a whole. So Elige was rumored to go to EG with Zorte and Jax and possibly Electronic. Looks like all of that fell through, and now EG is just promoting the majority of their EG Black roster. I think EG has enough money to sign these players, but I just think none of the prospects probably believed in the project. But Elige is joining now what I would say is the NA team. Complexity has a lot of potential. I think they reached the peak with that roster, and with Elige coming in to replace Fang, I think Elige brings a lot, not just mechanical skill, but the dude's a veteran. He knows what it feels like to win, and win a lot. And Complexity doesn't really have that tier 1 veteran. Grim played on Liquid for a while, but that was during the online era, and they didn't really find much success. JT's been playing for a long time, but doesn't really have that winning feeling. Floppy is just Floppy. I think Floppy in the right role could be very dangerous. And Halzerk gets kind of a unique perspective. Being from Norway, he got his career started in Europe, and he played with some of the NIP guys in Dignitas, which he might have some of that veteran experience trickled onto him from Forest and such, but you can't replace having that actual veteran there. As sad as it is to see Elige off of Team Liquid, I'm really excited for Complexity. I'm really excited to see this next chapter for Elige as well. He's only 25. He's been playing for a long time, and I'd be surprised if we don't get another 5 years minimum out of Elige. So let me know what you think. Do you think Liquid made a mistake? Do you think Elige is just gonna fall off now? Or do you think Elige is gonna be revitalized and have a huge comeback now? Remember guys, I'm doing a giveaway. I'm gonna start doing demo reviews, so I want you to like, subscribe, comment what you want me to review, whether that's just a player or a specific match. It can be an old match, it can be a match from last week, or a specific like position on a map you want me to review. Just comment and you'll have a chance to win my very own M4A1S skin. Oh, and one more thing about Elige is that he likes to stay hydrated.